Apologetic news.
All you got to do is read like the Facebook comments on a news post, right? You're guaranteed to see two things. One, you're going to see a person who's like, how dare they do this? We can't stand for this. And then you're going to see someone reply to him like, did you even read the article? And this was most apparent to me recently. I was talking to a dude who lives down the road, and he's like heavy marijuana advocate type guy, right? So he's like, hey, did you see that the DEA is about to legalize cocaine, but they're not going to do anything for herb? This is nonsense. And he goes on this whole tirade, and I'm like, what? So I was like, can you pull up the article? And he's like, yeah, because I assume he was engaged in a healthy conversation in the comments. So he pulled up the article, and I wrote down exactly what it said. It said, this is the name of the article. It says, DEA moves to legalize cocaine, but will not readdress marijuana. So right off the bat, I'm like, well, that just isn't true, right? I didn't get mad about it. I went ahead and I popped up the article when I got back to the house, right? If you get about 3 sentences into it, they say, A, they're not legalizing cocaine. They're trying to reclassify the DEA as a cocaine derivative so that it doesn't affect me or you. It's not like we're going to be able to go to the smoke shop and get it. It's for scientists with like the highest level of clearance. Like there's like 3 or 4 places in the nation that this would affect that they'd be able to get their hands on it. Because apparently they found out that this derivative could help prevent or treat Parkinson's. So I decided it would be in my best interest to go ahead and read those comments on that article. Every one of them went back to herb. It was like, well, what about herb? Well, how are you going to do this and cause addiction when herb is so much better? And what about alcohol? And people do this a lot. They'll take one subject and they'll twist it and turn it and what about this? And a whole nother subject that has nothing to do with it, right? Like this has nothing to do, it doesn't even have anything to do with cocaine. Like the derivative isn't even like anything we'd want, right? And it's like once I started seeing this pattern, I can't unsee it. So like yesterday I saw the headline read, San Francisco approves lethal force for robots. Once again, anyone who's not a moron reads that headline and goes, that's just not true.
Fucking Skynet.
So I read, remember that, what was that, RoboCop?
Yeah.
So I start reading the comments, right? And it's all like, how dare they do this? Them robots, they're going to churn on us. And how dare they just let them decide who lives or dies? And once again, I wasn't even 15 seconds into reading this article, and I find out what it really is it's like an RC car with a tripod on it and like a camera and a projectile. And then it's a guy behind a shield going,
It's like a remote control turret, pretty much.
That's exactly what it is. And, no, the robot doesn't decide anything, right? All they're doing is making sure the officer isn't in danger of getting killed. And when I read that, I thought, well, aren't they already doing that? That kind of seems like a logical thing to me. But that did not stop hundreds, if not thousands, I think this may have been Washington Post or something, of comments on there showing their stance, and this will not be tolerated. I wrote down one of the best comments. It said, I've never seen such corruption. I'm ashamed to be an American. Well, we are ashamed to have you, buddy. This is crazy. Now, have you seen anything like this? Like, have you seen this? Once you see the pattern, you're not going to unsee it.
Yeah. Well, back Marilyn Manson, he's got allegations against him, but I remember the headline, something Manson's a rapist, well, they're pretty much saying that he's done convicted, but
right.
Yes, his ex-wife and a couple other women have made some claims. I think last year they did like raid his home, but just last month, LA, their Special Victims Bureau, just turned over their stuff to the district attorney's office for consideration filing. Like nothing has been filed, but consideration
for charges to be filed. So did he have a consequence though?
Oh yeah, his agent dropped him, his labels dropped him. I didn't know he was a painter or anything, but I guess his art has went down in value, book sales.
Wouldn't it be funny if it was like all of his artists was like sunshine,
right,
and girls playing hopscotch? I mean, you know exactly
nice
what
field
it is.
Of sunflowers.
That's actually a good point, though, because that's different, but it's all based on the headline. The headline can come out, and sometimes the headlines are true, But, we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty,
Right.
but something can come out. Someone can accuse someone of something, and then they lose their sponsorships, their movie deals, like you're saying, his agent, maybe touring, whatever. And that's all from the headline. So he hasn't even been formally anything still to this point.
No charges, nothing. And he might not even get charged because she's claiming physical and sexual abuse. And they say it took place between 2009 and 2011. There in LA, the statute of limitations on rape is 10 years.
That's it?
Yeah. So it's past that.
I think we need to be angered that they need to change those laws and what
There should
Manson
be
may
a
or may
statute
not
of
have done.
limitations on that at all.
Yeah, that is crazy because, and just to be clear, if he did it, then sure, let's give him all the consequences in the world.
Absolutely.
He can disappear. But an accusation should not mean guilt, right? Same thing is happening. We're in a cancel culture. Louis C.K. I read recently about that Danny Masterson's guy from that '70s show. I don't know all the details, but I guess when he was filming that '70s show in the '90s or whenever it was, someone had accused him of sexual assault. The police had looked into it. They found there was no cause to bring up charges. And that same girl has come forward again, and now it's going crazy. And when she came forward, he got wrote off that show, The Ranch, which was awesome. And like I say, if it turns out he's guilty, then yeah, let's give him all this. But we have to have our due process. Anyone can yell any stupid shit on the internet. Check our comment section if you don't believe us.
His in a mistrial.
Oh, there was okay, cool. Like I say, I got to see it in passing, but I remembered looking into it when we were kids. But I think this stems from those same charges. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. But either way, the guy gets his day in court. If he's found guilty, we punish him. We go get him. But until he should be fine to work.
Right.
Because half the time, bitches be lying. Hold up. I'll decide later whether we're going to leave that in. He should get his day in court because people lie. Just sad fact. It's just the way she goes. But all this could be solved if people just read these articles. They would have saw that Manson was accused. They would have saw that San Francisco is not allowing robots to shoot your children because that's what about the children? That's what it all came down to. And that cocaine is not being legalized. As far as the marijuana stance, I'll be honest with you. Once you all stop crying that you need your medicine, I'm going to be right there to support you with legalization. Quit that bullshit. It's annoying. But all we got to do is take 2 or 3 minutes to read these articles if we're going to form an opinion. I'm not telling you to read. You probably don't know how. But if you want to form an opinion, especially if you want to die on that hill and have this aggressive opinion, then you just need to read the article. We need to do better. Good night, everybody.
Non-apologetic news. Non-apologetic news.